I mean, well, let's just start where it should start. With the man in charge, Kyle.
Okay,
Um,
let's talk about
how
Kyle.
we started this game offensively. Uh, I was not a fan of how stubborn he was on staying with the script.
Okay.
We had early success through the air with Brock, which was good, but I felt like Kyle felt as though that he saw early success in the game plan and got tunnel vision on singling out the middle of the field and not necessarily understanding that this is a defense that predicates themselves on being um, agile. They disguise a lot, and this is not the defense where you feel like you get some type of minutia against them and you just ride that out. And that's how teams have let us off the hook, right? We figure out ways how to get mismatches, we get them on our heels, we ride them out, and then by the time they don't have enough on defense to respond, and that's how we've usually been winning games with our complementary football. But the Ravens are a team defensively that are physical, athletic, well conditioned, and smart. And we haven't seen a defense like that since Cleveland. And on top of it, they have a complementary offense that makes them right in certain areas. I mean, at one point, you got to be real, man. Like, we really shot ourselves in the foot. At one point, the Ravens only turned three of those picks into 8 points, right? So this wasn't like a route early, right? The 3 picks in, and the Ravens had only turned that into 8 points. So there were a lot of instances in the game where Kyle was really trying to fit a square peg in a round hole. And it's like, dude, run the ball. Run the ball. We were going into the half and we had ran the ball 12 times versus 19 times with Brock. And I understand that Brock is young and he's in the MVP race and he's all of the elite things that you want to say about him, but that still doesn't change the fact that there are moments that he still has not seen in the NFL. And tonight was one of them. Tonight was one of them. He has not seen a team like this hungry, this late in the season with this much on the line where he's got to perform at that level. And I feel like in certain areas, you could tell Kyle really didn't consider that, right? Now, the picks were bad. Most of them were bad for Brock, okay? We're not giving Brock any type of like mulligans, and there were a lot of would-be picks. I mean, Brock should have thrown way more picks than he did. But there were just points in the game where I was saying to myself, all right, man, we're down 10. Let's get Jordan Mason in the game. Let's slow the game down, okay? All right, at one point, the Ravens were killing us on time of possession, and the game really was in balance after 3 picks. The game was still up for grabs. And I had just tweeted, all right, after 3 picks, you have had to say, all right, we're lucky as hell. Let's slow this game down. Let's get a slow drive going. And right when that happens, he comes out 5 wide, Brock throws a pick. Like, come on. Like, at what point do you start realizing, all right, I got to protect my kid. I got to protect my team. And even if we lose this game, we got to walk out of here with our identity whole, okay? And defensively, I'm not worried about us defensively. We played against Lamar fucking Jackson, okay? Like, let's get that out there. We played against class personified, the man, okay?
He deserves, hold on. Let me say this real quick. Lamar deserves his flowers too, because Lamar balled out today. He did exactly what he was supposed to do. And there's a lot of people that are in my mentions on social media, and a lot of people here that said Lamar Jackson's a one-trick pony and I don't know what I'm talking about. Bro, I watched Lamar Jackson every single week. I knew what Lamar Jackson was capable of, and everybody said it wasn't possible. No, Lamar Jackson's that dude. He deserves his flowers today. He did what he was supposed to do in a big game tonight.
In the illustrious words of the notorious B.I.G., if you don't know, now you know.
Now you know. Yes.
All right. So that we can just put that to bed. But really, like the first pick that he threw in the red zone, like, why are we not running the ball? Why are we not trying to punch the ball in there on the red zone? Like, that's on Kyle. I understand that they schemed it up, but if you look at I want to back up what I'm saying. So let's just go to the numbers, okay? Let's go to the numbers, Jesse. Time of possession, all right? They barely got us, okay? So it's 31-28. We had 68 plays to their 63. We outgained them offensively, 429 to 343. They had 5.4 yards of play. We had 6.3. All right. Out of the scoring, all right, 4 for 4 for field goals, 1 for 1, 2 for 2, 3 for 3. Passing, all right, they got us 65% to 56%. All right. If you look at the numbers and you see what we did, rushing, they were 26 for 102, only 3.9 a carry. We were 18 for 121 for 6.7 a carry. Okay. Both of us had a touchdown. First downs, 21-23. All right. So if you look at this game, outside of the numbers, this does not look like 33-19. This looks like it should be a much closer game. But my point is that I feel like we were way more focused on executing a game plan, and the Ravens were playing football. The Ravens were getting at us from an individualized position where they were blitzing. They were understanding what our alignment was doing. They knew about packages. That blitz that they called on Debo, they've been watching that. They've been repping that. They've been understanding the probabilities of down distance, yardage, spacing, and where is Debo on the field and how is he used. All right. And when you play like that, you can get a team where, like I said, the problem to play against our team is that we are actually leaning on a side of football that is being outsourced, and that's development. In order to beat the 49ers, you have to be a smart team. You got to be a well-developed team, because we do way too much in a game for you to just see us for 1 week and think you're going to have 2 or 3 practices and now you know us. Okay. So what I'm saying is that for us to be able to get over these humps, right? These are the games that matter. And then we're facing teams that have the conditioning. Then they have the players to go pound for pound. There's no weakness. There's nobody we can just call out. Then they have the motor. All right, you're not going to get us tired. They have the mental acuity to go quarter for quarter, drive for drive with us. And I'm going to be honest with you. Offensively, this was an ass performance. It wasn't even the fact that it was a bad game plan, but it was a bad coaching performance. Having a game plan is one thing, but understanding that my game plan is not working right now and I need to change this is a whole different ballgame. And that's, again, we've been dealing with this with Kyle for years, and it reared its head today. Everybody in the building at one point was saying, all right, it's time for us to start running the ball. It's time for us to slow this down. Like, all right, at one point, Brock throwing near picks, it's like you're looking at Kyle like, all right, bro, like, are we gonna give this to CMC? Like, we're getting routed, and CMC has 12 carries. What are we doing? So,
well, there was a point in the first half where he had outgained the whole offense, CMC, right? And he was only touching the ball a very little amount. To your point, 12 touches, I believe, and he had more yards than the rest of everybody else. You know, I don't have a problem with him coming out and passing at all, by any means. You know, pass to open up the run. You thought you saw something on film, do that. But there is a point and there is a spot where you've got to feel the game. And feeling the game and watching what's actually happening versus the game plan, time to switch it up. And like I said, I don't have the issue. The issue is not the game plan. It doesn't sound like you had an issue with the game plan either, because if you do have an MVP caliber quarterback, the way that the 49ers believe that they have, then it's okay to come out and pass and put it on his right arm a little bit. I have zero issue with that. But sometimes things just don't go the way that you hope. Sometimes you get out schemed. Sometimes your players just don't have it on that night. And that's okay. So switch it up and do it earlier. He just never got to the running game, it felt like. And then it got to a point where it was like, okay, well, now I'm trying to prove a point out here. Brock's thrown 4 interceptions, really could have been 7. Let's just keep throwing them out there to figure it out, and we'll get through this thing. It's like, man, okay, I guess. They're still in the game. They got a chance.